office stuff. Like, obviously, we'll, do it as safely as possible. But, like, how she meets her demise, it's kind of like comedy and tragedy at the same time. But, like, it's like you'd watch it and just, like, you're going to laugh your ass off. But this guy in the future from the past doesn't know that she's, whatever. But his whole thing is to get back. So all the songs are kind of about that. But while this is going on, there's a villain that's trying to still get to him, and take him out, right? The reason why, I haven't come up with a reason why this villain wants to take out this poor peasant, but I figured it doesn't really matter. I'll let the audience use their imagination, whatever. But anyway, yeah. So and then there's a intergalactic inch space worm that comes and tries to save the day, and so you can see where this is going, right? So if to put out 30 songs and 30 videos obviously is not going to be easy, and to do it on next to no budget is going to be even harder. So I gotta really refine the Triple Hammer stuff. So if I don't release it this year, next year, whatever, it doesn't matter. When you get it, you're gonna get, like, it'll just be the full story is going to unravel from start to finish. The first album is going to be called Hammering of the Gods. Triple Hammer, Hammering of the Gods. The idea is a three-piece band, guitar, bass, and drummer, and that's it. And the goal is to record it live in the studio. Problem is I can't play all three instruments at the exact same time, so I'm going to have to find guys to do this, right? So I figure that's number one, the easiest way to record it, and I'll get the best sound recording, and not only that, it'll be the quickest way to record it, right? So, like, maybe if you can record a song a day, or 2 songs, or even 3 songs a day live in the studio. That's kind of how a lot of people don't realize that. That's what Iron Maiden does, is they record live in the studio. They're still like the Rolling Stones in that sense. Right, they obviously do overdubs and all that stuff too, but that's why they always have this kind of like really polished off raw sound, which is a strange combination. Sounds like a bit of an oxymoron there, but it doesn't. It's not. So it's like they're like, they're live in the studio. You know what I mean? Like Yngwie, when he records, he brings all of his like 40 Marshall stacks and records off of that. Like, so. Like they say, when Yngwie records in the studio, it's like ridiculously loud. Like, it's like for the full effect, It's like, but you don't need to be that loud. But it's Yngwie, right? More is more. Yeah, that's what you gotta love Yngwie. But yeah, so that's the Triple Hammer stuff is going to take a while to get done. Obviously, it's going to be done better than the goofy little videos that I put out really quickly. Like those with my Viking motorcycle helmet on with the big horns. Like those videos are just for fun, just to give you something really quick. They're meant to be the metal in your face series, really, really funny stuff. But I do want to give you something really good. My main holdback is I've got the drums, and my drumming isn't too bad. It's not phenomenal. I've been playing for 4 months now. Okay, the past week I haven't gotten any drumming in because of the chickens, and I don't want, because the chickens are in the basement there, and I don't, the drums would shell shock them, and I don't want to, I don't want to traumatize the chickens, right? So I haven't played this week, but after today, as soon as I'll be getting on it. But the problem I have is recording the drums. I can record the drum line first and then play the guitar to it. The problem is I can't play to the click because I can't hear the click. The click is fine for the practice pad, but I can't hear it over the drums. Like, I just can't hear it over the drums. The drums are, there's no way to play the drums quiet enough to, and I don't want to play the drums quietly on hard rock metal albums, metal songs, right? So what I got to do is get what they call isolation headphones, which I have my headphones like this that I wear. They cut out something like 25 dBs. Doesn't sound like much. but 25 dBs is a lot, right? And a drum at its peak, like the snare is probably cracking about 103 dBs. Anything over 85 is starting to give you hearing damage, right? So that's why. Plus, the drums sound better when you have these on. They sound deeper and whatever. Now, my drums are tuned pretty high. Even my buddy says, "Yeah, your drums are tuned really high." Like when he watches the video. So, but the skins on them, I think, because they're a single ply skin, maybe I'll only be able to lower them a bit. For whatever reason, every drum store, everywhere you buy drums, it doesn't matter if it's a metal kit or a rock kit, they always tune them for like a jazz setting, which is really high, right? So what I want to do myself is take my drum dial and bring everything down. But I need my dad's going to have to be out of the house for that one for sure. Sitting there pounding on a drum all day just to tune it up. I haven't tuned drums in a long time, but there's a trick to it. And it's not really hard. It's more having the ear to actually make sure each lug is in tune with each other. But once you do, it's really good. But getting back to the songwriting, yeah, look, the Metal in Your Face series I thought was good because then it could be all one-off singles. So I have 2 songs that I'm working on right now. One's called The Plague Doctor, the other one's called Crystal Eyes. And Crystal Eyes, if I can get Plague Doctor and Crystal Eyes done this year, I would be really, really happy with that. But I want to do those in a professional studio. Maybe the Plague Doctor I might do at home once I get the isolation headphones, because the isolation headphones, what I could do is play to whichever works out best for me. If I do the drum track first, which always sounds like you're going to do the drum track first, but not necessarily. Sometimes you can actually record the guitar first and put the drums to it later. A lot of people don't realize that. As long as you're playing off the click. Now, what I do, and what I might do, because I think this would work better for me, okay, is record the guitar first with the click, which I can do now. Okay, so I record the guitar, the whole guitar and stuff like that. And then what I can do, okay, is with the isolation headphones, play along with the guitar, which I think is a better method to go. Because if I do the drum track first, I'm just doing the drum track, right? And then the guitar goes to that. But when the drummer can hear the accents of what the guitar's doing, he can actually add more dynamics by playing off the guitar, if that makes sense. From a guitar player point of view, it super makes sense. Because, like, if your drummer's getting quiet and then he gets louder and then he, something like that, instead of going, like constant volume, like, but you can add the dynamics, like, quieten it down and give you a burst. It really, that can play off the guitar, right? So, little things like that, little tricks like that, it could change a song's dynamics so much that it can make the difference between a good song and a phenomenal song. Because it'll almost, like, especially what I call like the volume swell playing, where it's like, like up and down. Okay, maybe it won't sound exactly like that, but you get what I'm getting, like, where it's like it's like, think of Another Brick in the Wall. Like where in comes this big chord when he raises his voice, the guitar gets louder, right, and then it gets quiet again, loud, quiet, loud, and it's like it just builds up suspense and anticipation and all that stuff. So that's why I want the isolation headphones to be able to play the drums off the guitar. Because the guitar is already going to be in time anyway, perfectly timed, because I'm playing off the metronome, right? So when you play off the click like that, it's pretty straightforward that you're going to have a song that's perfectly in time. The first little bit, obviously, it's going to be a long time before I can get my double bass pedal. That's probably not going to happen this year. It'd be awesome if it did, but my upgrades for my drum kit that I have planned is obviously adding a couple more cymbals and a cowbell. I'm going to have cowbell, more triangles. I like those little triangles. And adding I want to go with somebody had suggested for metal going with the Evans 2-ply hydraulic skins because you can tune them really low. So I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I want. I want because I like my 22-inch kick drum is already pretty thunderous to begin with, but if I get even more thunder out of that, yeah, that'd be really cool. And then I'm gonna probably add some little like rototoms and stuff like that. Those are really cool. Just so you get all those really